President Buhari assures of ending HERDSMEN's attack. Senate suspends Senator OVIE OMO-AGEGE. Supreme Court fixes date to rule on Saraki's case. Police arrest Niger Delta Avengers leaders. And in sports, Nigerian female boxer hospitalized at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Australia. This and many more stories in a moment. You are on to Television Nigerian News on the hour. I am Cynthia Agbo. President Muhammadu Buhari says that the killing in parts of Nigeria would come to an end soon as his administration finds solution to them. The president's assurance followed a fresh attack by Fulani herdsmen on Tuesday night in Benue State, during the 10 persons were killed, with many others injured in Logo and Ukum local government areas of the state. President Buhari, while receiving the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, in London, was of the opinion that the killings had no religious coloration, but rather has economic and sociological undertones. He regretted the persistent killings, adding that the situation was compounded by the influx of armed men from the Sahel region into West Africa. The senator representing Delta Central Senatorial District, OVIE OMO-AGEGE, has been suspended for 90 legislative days for challenging the recommendations of the conference report on election sequence. The resolution of the Senate followed presentations of a report by its Ethics Committee, which had recommended that OMO-AGEGE be suspended for 181 days for also dragging the upper chamber to court.
Having carefully and fully exhausted all sides to the matter and the inherent implications therefrom for today and the future of the National Assembly, the committee recommends as follows. 1. That the Senate of OMO-AGEGE be suspended for 181 legislative days from the date this resolution is taken, to serve as a deterrent to other senators who might contemplate taking the Senate to court over its power to regulate.
This is, to me, something that we would not like to happen. But when it happens that a member of this family went to court, maybe in desperation, thinking a drastic action will be taken against him, for me, I would suggest that he withdraws the court action.
And the president of this country, even if they don't, the president should tell them to dissolve it, because they are his greater enemies than even the people that are not in the in what do you call it, in the group. Mr. President, we should not allow this.
For anybody to come here and go and give press conference and say that the Senate has taken a position against Mr. President, it is the most uncharitable thing anybody can do. It does not befit his office as a senator.
After comments from lawmakers, President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, asked the Delta senator to withdraw the court case, just as he stressed the need for discipline among lawmakers. Senator OMO-AGEGE had at a press conference insisted that the proposed change in the sequence of election was targeted against President Muhammadu Buhari. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has set July 6 to deliver judgment in the appeal filed by the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, challenging the ruling of the Court of Appeal, which asked the Code of Conduct Tribunal to try him on 3 of the 18 counts brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The Apex Court fixed the date after hearing the appeal and cross-appeal filed by the Senate President and the Anti-Graft Agency over the allegations of false asset declaration. Senator Saraki is contending that there is no prima facie case against him, and as such, the Apex Court should uphold his non-submission, which was upheld by the court. Still to come, police arrest Niger Delta Avengers leaders in Rivers State, plus more on sports and the foreign scene. Stay tuned.
Nigerians have tested political parties, religion and age. It is time to get a bridge builder to heal the wounds. Hassan Dan Kwambo. Under your watch as Executive Governor of Gombe State, you have been able to manage the state's resources in view of the numerous projects so far completed and the low statutory federal allocations accruable to the state. With your landmark achievements in healthcare, youth employment, women empowerment, road infrastructure, pipe-borne water, security, education and agricultural development, we are sure of a better Nigeria. 2019 is not about power or change, but rather it is about Dan Kwambo to replicate his humility and servant leadership. Dan Kwambo, Nigeria. Nigeria, Dan Kwambo.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
You are still on to the news on television Nigerian. We now continue. Operatives of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team have arrested two principal leaders of the amalgamated Niger Delta Avengers members who had earlier demanded a ransom of 20 million naira from Niger Delta Petroleum Resources in Rivers State. The police team had swung into action following several reports of threats to the Niger Delta Petroleum Resources located in Obumeze community, a Ahoda local government area of Rivers State, by the group who had threatened to kidnap and kill the company's workers or blow up the company's assets if they failed to pay them 20 million naira or place them on a monthly salary of 3 million naira each. The arrested suspects include a 27-year-old native of the community, Lovegod Chinuzoke, who was recently granted bail from Port Harcourt's maximum prison for a case of armed robbery and kidnapping, and 25-year-old Justice Okolo from Anocha local government area of Delta State. Moving on to sports, Nigeria female boxer Aisat Oriyomi is battling for recovery after she lost her quarter-final bout to Northern Ireland's Callie McNall at the Ozenford Studios boxing event of the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast. Aisat Oriyomi fought Northern Ireland's Callie McNall during their women's 51-kilogram category quarter-final boxing match. Lost coordination during the fight and was rushed to the hospital for medical attention. Sources say she is responding to treatment but complains of a blockage in her throat and sight visual impairment. And on the foreign scene, Germany is investigating 431 cases of possible right-wing extremism within the armed forces, of which 23 of the cases are newly reported issues. The official figures came from the Defense Ministry in response to a parliamentary question from left-wing lawmakers. The ministry said in October 2017 that the army had discharged 18 service personnel because of right-wing extremism, while one officer who was arrested on suspicion of planning a xenophobic attack was released in November due to lack of evidence. That's the news on the hour on television Nigerian, a recap of the major headlines. President Buhari assures of ending HERDSMEN attacks. Senate suspends Senator OMO-AGEGE. Supreme Court fixes date to rule on Turkey's case. Police arrest Niger Delta Avengers leaders. And in sports, Nigerian female boxer hospitalized at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Australia. Remember, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win champions. Thanks for watching. I am Cynthia Agbo. You have yourself a wonderful night.